Hello and welcome to the vlog. So this is going to be my first weekly vlog in June. It's currently June 6th. I realize I missed the first few days, but that's okay. So if you missed it, I am challenging myself to read 61 books in 61 days. That started back in May. It's now June and I've read 11 books so far. So 50 left to go. So I thought I would vlog these next 4 weeks and kind of bring you along on the journey. If you missed the 61 books video, I will link it up below, up above, and down below. Just a disclaimer, I don't really anticipate that I can read 61 books, or 50 as the case may be. But we're going to try and see how far we get. Like I said, I've already read 11 books. I have 2 books that I'm currently reading. I've just barely started them, so I'm not really going to tell you about them. The first is The Scent Keeper by Erica Bauermeister. This is the story of a girl and her father who live on this island, and they collect scents. And that's about as far as I've gotten. So we will keep you updated, obviously. And then I'm reading book 2 in the York series. This is called The Clockwork Ghost by Laura Ruby. I just read like the prelude. So, and this is a middle grade, kind of a steampunk, alternate New York. The first one I really, really enjoyed. So continuing on and reading the second one. So that's what I'm currently reading. I may pick up something else today. I may not. It's almost 10 in the morning. I've gotten some different chores and things done this morning that I need to do because I'm taking care of my brother's house while they're gone. I mean, I live here too, but they're all gone. So I have their dog, who's been basically sleeping in the corner, super depressed. And I have my niece's hedgehog as well, who's here sitting in my lap because I just cleaned out her crate. She's not in a very good mood, so I don't know that she's going to want to say hi. She's really spiky right now. But say hi. There she is. Nope. She's not a very social hedgehog. But maybe I'll film later in the week. I'll have to give her a bath and maybe I'll film some of that. But so that's what's going on. So I have lots of time. I have the same amount of time, but I have less people around me. So more reading, more other things. I have a cross stitch I'm going to try and finish up in the next 4 weeks. I have a few puzzles I'd like to do. Just kind of all the fun on your own type things. So yeah, welcome to the vlog. Hi guys, it is now Wednesday morning. I've pretty much done a terrible job of vlogging this week, which is, pretty much normal for me. Basically the last 2 days I haven't done anything but read, which has been a lot of fun. I haven't been able to just sit and read much in the last bit. So to kind of have the freedom to do that has been a lot of fun. I did do a puzzle, insert picture here. It didn't take long. It's a 300 piece, but it's pretty. And I put up my computer and was able to catch up on some YouTube videos while I did that. And that was a fun break. But let's talk about what I've been reading, because I finished the 2 books that I had started this week. So I finished The Scent Keeper by Erica Bauermeister. This was so good, you guys. So we follow, I won't tell you too much, but we follow a girl and her father who live on this island. It's very isolated. She knows nothing else. This is where she's been raised. She doesn't know other people, like she's never seen other people. And then something happens and she has to leave the island and the story progresses from there. It's a really good story about figuring out who you are and where you came from and where you want to go and kind of the journey along the way there. So kind of a coming of age, but like a women's fiction, I guess. Oddly enough, this gave me Love and Other Words vibes. I read Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I read that earlier this year and really hated it, actually. And I'm not quite sure why I'm getting those vibes from this book, because it's not similar. Like the story is not similar. I don't quite know what it is, but everything that I hated about that book, this book I thought did right. You have a relationship between friends that kind of progresses through the teen years. It slowly builds, which I really like. You have a little bit of misunderstanding and some frustration with each other, but it all feels very real life. It doesn't feel overly dramatized like Love and Other Words did. I don't know what it is. I really loved this book. It's a 4.5 star. It would be a 5, but it wrapped up a little too quickly. I wanted a little more time at the end. Just a little more ending. It was too fast. But fantastic book, really unique kind of backstory and setting. Yeah, I really liked this. It reads really fast. The chapters are short if you like short chapters. Would highly recommend you pick this one up. And then I also finished York, the Clockwork Ghost. This is book 2. Whoa, glare. This is book 2 in the York trilogy. This is a middle grade kind of steampunk set in an alternate New York. I don't know why people are sleeping on this series. The first book was fantastic. This one was 5 stars for me all the way. I've never heard anyone talk about the series except for Chantel. Chantel reads all day. She read the first one fairly recently. I bought the first one, I think summer of 2019. I bought it when I took a trip up to Powell's up in Portland. And it's been sitting on my shelf since then. I bought it because it just looked interesting. I had never heard of it. I didn't know the author. It just looked intriguing. And then it sat on my shelf until I finally read it. And now I'm mad that it sat there for so long. But if you like puzzle books, think like the Winter House series, which is another middle grade puzzle series. It's got that type of word games and riddles and that type of thing, ciphers. But it's mixed with history. If you like the movie National Treasure, that type of thing, that's in there too. But it's an alternate history, so it's not quite the history we know. So it's kind of fun. You think you know something, and then it just throws a random fact at you, Harriet Tubman is on the $20 bill. And you're like, no, she's not. But yeah, really, really good. Really fantastic series. So as of today, I am currently reading Sisters of the Lost Marsh by Lucy Strange. I'm about halfway through this one. This is another middle grade, kind of a folklore. I really like this one too. I'm having a great reading week. But this follows a family of 6 sisters because there are 6 daughters. There's a curse on the family. It follows primarily the oldest 3 girls. And yeah, I'm about halfway through. Really enjoying it. A little bit magical, a little bit dark. Really, really good. And then I'm also going to be jumping right into book 3 of the York trilogy. This is called The Map of Stars. Definitely want to continue on and finish up that trilogy this week. And then I'm also just started The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, which is a reread. And I just started this. I just read the prologue. And I am so excited about this reread. I'm so glad I decided to reread this trilogy before I move on to Mistborn Era 2. So that's what I'm currently reading. I have, again, no plans today except to read. I was kind of tentatively going to go to the zoo today because they have baby kangaroos that just popped out of their pouches in the last couple weeks. And they also, a week ago, had a baby tamarin monkey born that's just, holding on to its mother's back. So I really wanted to go see those. But we've been having thunderstorms and a lot of rain the last 2 days, and that's supposed to continue through today. So I don't think it would be a very pleasant trip to the zoo. But hopefully next week we'll be able to go. So again, just another lovely day at home, stormy day with some reading. For you a few more things that I read. Sorry this was not a super interesting vlog. I didn't really go do anything this week. I'm going to try and remedy that in the future, but next week is supposed to be super hot, so I don't know that I'm going to go do anything next week either. But let's talk about the books I finished up this week. So we already talked about The Scent Keeper and York. I did finish book 3, in the York series, The Map of Stars. So this is a trilogy. I don't know why no one's reading this series. It's so good. I just was really impressed with the storyline and the plot twists, and it just kind of kept me entertained all the way through. It kept me kind of pulling me forward, and they're not short. Each one's about 500 pages. I mean, it's middle grade, so it reads pretty fast, but I think these were fantastic. I'm not going to go into detail too much. Sorry for the glare. Details, because that would be spoilery, because they're very connected between the three. But again, middle grade, puzzles, ciphers, history, kind of some steampunk vibes. Really, really interesting stuff. You should definitely pick up the series. I did also finish Sisters of the Lost Marsh by Lucy Strange. This is kind of a folklore vibe following these sisters. It's a little bit magical. There's some hints of like night circus vibes, but not really. And I would compare it more to like something more along the lines of The Bear and the Nightingale, which I wasn't actually a huge fan of. Those kind of folklore vibes. A little bit dark, a little bit magical, really, really good. I've read all of Lucy Strange's books. This one may be my favorite. At some point I'm going to do a video just talking about her and her different books. Also, I'm kind of obsessed with this cover, this combination of the pink and the real light teal with the gold foil. And inside, it's got this this lantern pattern on the inside, which I also love. So, winning cover right there. Then I also read Rain, Rain by Anne M. Martin. This is another middle grade. Here we follow Rose, who's a young girl. She is high-functioning autism and is obsessed with homonyms and prime numbers, those types of things. She lives with her dad, who doesn't really understand her and gets really frustrated with her. And then one day he brings home a dog, which she names Rain, because it's a homonym. It actually has two homonyms. So, yeah, this was really good. It was sadder than I was expecting. It was heavier than I was expecting, I guess. But I really, really enjoyed this one as well. And then I'm currently reading two things. I started the Mistborn trilogy. This is a reread. But the first one is The Final Empire, and I'm absolutely loving my reread of this so far. I'm almost 200 pages in, so I made a decent dent in it. So I'm sure you'll be hearing more about this one next week. And then I also started The 100 Years of Lynnie and Margot. I'm about 100 pages into this one too. I'm actually doing this one on audio. And I'm not totally sure how I feel about it yet. It's fine, but it's not totally catching me yet. So it's interesting. We follow Lynnie and Margot. Lynnie is 17. She's terminally ill. And so she lives in the hospital. And then Margot is a lady she meets that's 83. So together they're 100 years old. And they both live here. They're both dying, basically. So we're getting some stories, some histories, like some backstories as they tell each other and get to know each other more. Again, it's interesting. I'm not loving it so far, but we'll stick with it. It goes pretty quick. So yeah, that's the end of week 1. And again, not super interesting. Sorry for that. We'll get better. I know I've said that before, but you know, we're going to keep trying. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching.